Honey, who wants to listen to two oldsters talking about how they met?
Well, maybe because they believe that it's never too late to fall in love and they really, really like a good love story.
Well, have we got one for you?
Oh, yeah. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Richard.
And I'm Kim.
Hi, we're two seniors who met later in life. In fact, I'm 75.
And I turned 70 in 3 days.
That's right. Happy birthday, darling.
Yes, thank you.
That's right. You know, we're going to be doing a series of vignettes about how we met and about our relationship. This is the first one, and this is on a very important subject.
Like required.
That's right. If you
Numero uno, most important thing.
if you want the love of your life, this is the video for you. In fact, we consider ourselves forever honeymooners,
Yep.
and we are in
Deep cahoots.
deep cahoots.
Yes.
So this is our story, and we're going to be talking about loving yourself.
Loving yourself. Yes.
That's right.
That's it.
So, dear.
Want me to kick it off?
Sure.
Okay. All right. The journey of self-love. It's really an ongoing process. We may not be aware of it consciously, but in the early 90s, I had this profound dream. It was so powerful. It was like a real experience. And in the dream, I was standing at the ocean's edge looking out over the horizon when suddenly I noticed out of the corner of my eye, someone driving down the beach going really, really fast, driving a Jeep and making zigzags in the sand. They were just zoom, 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 racing towards me. And as they approached, it was like they hit something in the sand, and the impact of that collision caused the driver to literally be propelled up out of the Jeep like a cannonball. And he came up in the sky and then, boom, right down in front of me, landed and was being buried in the sand. And I heard this voice. Yeah, it was intense. I heard this voice, help me, help me, help me. I looked around, there was nobody else. I knew I had to go and rescue this poor, poor soul. So I raced over, reached down, and it was me. And I woke up out of this dream in a cold sweat, shaking all over. I got up out of bed and went in to the other room and just began crying out to God, going, oh my gosh, because it was so real and so terrifying. And Spirit spoke to my heart and said, Kim, you've loved God with all of your heart. You loved others. And I so identified with that person that was driving in that Jeep. I was busy, a mom of 6 kids and taking care of everybody and being a good churchgoer and just, serving everybody. And a big people pleaser too. But Spirit was saying, you loved God, you loved others, but you have no clue about who you are and loving yourself. And that was the day where it was like this invitation from Spirit to go inside and begin to excavate this authentic person, me. And it was a journey. I was in the 90s, right? But what I learned, and I had already had a spiritual practice of contemplating and morning prayers and devotion, because I have wonderful love and relationship with God, but there wasn't this real relationship with myself. And so through many practices of journaling, and you never know what's underneath, what drives you on the inside, but life brings those experiences. So you have so many experiences that just kept educating me more about myself. And, a lot of dark nights of the soul and things like that. But I grew to really understanding myself and what made me tick and what motivated me. And I just grew deeper and deeper into acceptance of even the dark within me, especially the dark. You have to love the dark. So anyway, there's so much more to this story, and I'll probably go in more detail in other videos, but eventually I became more loving and forgiving of myself, and I became my own best friend. And
Very important.
it was, my own best friend, and was happy to be with myself. And eventually, though, having a relationship, after a divorce and everything, and healing from that, having a relationship was like, kind of nice. But I wasn't needy.
That's right.
I loved myself fully and completely. And then I manifested somebody who reflected that back to me. So that's kind of a short version of a very long story.
Well, I have a story, and it's, every path is different. And so my story is a little bit different. And how you come to love yourself may be different from what you're hearing today. But back in 2016, I was at a spiritual center, and I was looking for something to read because I was there for a few months, and I thought, it'd be nice to read a book. And there was this large bookshelf, and I just picked out a book, and it was this one right here. Celebrate Yourself by Dorothy Corkle-Briggs. And it's celebrate yourself, not celebrate yourself is like one word. And I wound up reading this book 7 times. Or maybe more. I think I lost count. But I usually read a book only once. But this book so struck me in terms of loving myself that I wound up reading it over and over again. It literally changed my life. Now it talks about the different aspects of loving yourself and what's involved. And one of them, for instance, is how you were brought up, your childhood, how you were treated, what you think of your parents. It goes into your past, how to deal with your past. It goes into your expectations about yourself. It goes into the beliefs about yourself and whether you believe in yourself or not. It covers the bases. And what's really important is it closes by talking about who you really are. Now, who you really are, you might think, it's just me and in this body, but no, you are a divine being inhabiting a body. You are a divine being of tremendous expansion. You are eternal. You are loving in a way that beyond any type of love you can imagine or have ever felt, far, far beyond. You are a being of joy. You are a being of peace. You are a being of freedom. You are a being of harmony and truth and beauty. That's who you really are. And from that place, when you go within to who you really are, you find that there is nothing you can do but love yourself, because you are pure love itself. We are just an experience here in our bodies, in what I like to call the construct, this three-dimensional world, but we are far, far more than that. And that's what helps you to come to loving yourself. And that opens the door for the relationship of your dreams, because that is, as Kim said, that is a prerequisite to having this wonderful relationship that you're looking for. Love yourself first, and the rest will follow.
And it's so cool that, Richard came to this through the reading of the book, and basically everything that book that was, describing and taking him through that process, I was going through the process, but not through reading a book. It was just through these mystical experiences I was having. And the thing was that, just like in my dream, you excavate your treasure. Jesus said that we are the pearl of great price. And it's like that excavation of who we are at our very core is just this priceless treasure. And when we come into that in ourselves and we treasure ourselves, then life mirrors back the reality that's within. And then you find the partner that absolutely treasures you. And that's what we found. But we came to it because we learned and grew into loving and accepting ourselves fully. And
That's right.
that's what we want for
And-
everybody.
And it's about loving yourself. It's about accepting yourself.
So that was the beginning. That was like the foundation of the love story that will continue in these future vignettes. So if you want to stay tuned and learn more, be sure to
Like
and subscribe.
and share.
Oh yeah, and share.
And guess what we're doing?
We're living love.
And loving life.
All right, stay tuned. Check out the next video. Bye.